Excuse me. Hey guys, how is everybody? Sorry, it's been a while. I am back on track, hopefully now. Hopefully I won't have any more interruptions. Anyway, today we're going to be kind of talking about dairy. There is a lot of dairy products on the market. Everything from milk to butter to cheese to yogurt. And so today I'm going to be talking about just a few of those dairy products and whether you should eat or drink them on the carnivore diet. First, we're going to start with milk. Milk is good, and it's good for you up to a certain age. Most adults and even like probably teenagers end up being lactose intolerant because their body is not meant to have that milk. Infants obviously drink their mother's milk, and they should be doing that up to at least a year, if not a little bit longer. I breastfed I can't say all three. I breastfed my firstborn up until he was about 9 months old. And there was medical reasons for that. But the other two I breastfed up until they were almost 18 months old. And then switched them over, obviously, to regular cow's milk. But young children should only be drinking milk up until the age of about 6 or 7, because the body is not meant to be drinking that milk. Dr. Ken Berry has a really good take on milk, and especially the next one we're going to talk about. He's got a lot more information than I could ever give, but I'm going to do my best. I'm not a doctor by any stretch of the imagination, not even close. But from, reading and watching Dr. Ken Berry, I can kind of get the idea. So, for example, the next item that we're going to be talking about is cheese. I love cheese. Most people do like cheese. Cheese is a very addictive food item, and that's because it has an ingredient called casomorphins, which is a very addictive ingredient. It's in most dairy products, and I would venture to say that it's probably in a lot of other foods too, besides just dairy. I could be wrong on that, but like I said a few moments ago, Dr. Berry can give you a really good explanation if you want to go and check out his video. I will leave a link in the description for it. Excuse me, my goodness. But he gives a really good explanation of what casomorphins are. Also, something that I kind of wanted to show you, this kind of gives you an idea. So this list here, as you can see, it says up at the top what products have these casomorphins in them. And so the very top one is ghee, and that has the least amount of casomorphins in it. And so that's a really good one to eat. And then, as you can see, going down the list, here's butter, heavy cream, all the way down to number 13. And like these last four five actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These last five have the most amount of these casomorphins in them. I'm not quite sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah, these are the most addictive right here. And so going on the carnivore diet, you know, it's kind of hard to, especially when you're first starting out, to not eat any of that stuff. And you probably shouldn't eat most of it. However, you know, some things, a lot also depends on whether your body can tolerate it or not. If it causes inflammation, then obviously you shouldn't be eating it or drinking it. Milk you shouldn't be drinking at all anyway. But the next one that I want to talk about is butter. And there's a lot of, I believe, misconstrued information about butter or fat in general. Butter is a mostly fat product. And a lot of people say that you shouldn't eat fat because it will make you fat, and that's actually not the case. Your butter, your not your butter, your body needs fat to help cleanse things out, and it helps you lose fat. I think I'm saying that right. I don't remember now for sure, but I just know that fat is butter anyway. Butter is good for you. Fat from meat, like beef fat, that's really, really good for your body. I do apologize. I don't know why I'm not having a voice to use today. It's kind of weird. Anyway, yeah. So fat is a really good one to have, and then ghee, which, as I showed you on the list, is at the very top of the list for having the least amount of the casomorphins in them. I've never actually tried ghee, but I would definitely like to try it. I'm not quite sure. I think it's a type of butter. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I definitely do want to try it. In fact, I actually have it on my grocery list to pick up. But I know you can use it to cook with, kind of like buying lard, except that it's not lard, it's ghee. Some of the other dairy products that I like to eat that don't have as much of the casomorphins in them are like cream cheese, but I always buy organic. And I do use sour cream. I do eat cheese, but very, very seldom. And the same with the other dairy products. Like, I don't eat cream cheese on a regular basis like I used to. The organic is better, if you can go with the organic. And the sour cream, I don't use nearly as much as I used to. Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe once a month I might have a little tiny bit of sour cream with with something, like my hot dogs. I like to dip my hot dogs in sour cream. Yeah, call me weird. It's fine. But it's good. Don't knock it till you try it. Anyway, cream cheese. Also cottage cheese. I do occasionally, again, it's not like an everyday thing. Cottage cheese is one of my favorite things to eat, but and I would eat it like regularly, like at least 2 to 3 times a week, and I don't even do that anymore. Maybe once every couple of months I might go and get a small container and eat a little bit. But beyond that, I stay away from most dairy products, cheese especially, because even when I was eating cheese before the carnivore diet, it would back me up, and so I had to pretty much stop eating cheese on a regular basis. And so even now, if I do have a piece of cheese, it's only going to be, and I'm not talking about like the soft cheeses, like your string cheese and your shredded cheese and all that. I'm talking about the hard block cheeses, like the cheddar cheese, Monterey Jack, that kind of stuff. I will only have one slice, maybe once a month, if that, because it does back me up pretty bad. Beyond that, my personal opinion, so a lot of people say you should not eat, if you're a true carnivore, you shouldn't eat anything except beef, butter, bacon, eggs, and salt. But the dairy products are carnivore because they do come from an animal. And so, my personal opinion, it's okay to eat a little bit of dairy. You know, still you don't want to go hog wild with it. You don't want to eat a lot of it. Just, you know, a little bit. Other than that, I hope that kind of helps you out. Again, I will leave a link in my description for Dr. Barry's website if you want to go and check his channel out. And he's got all kinds of stuff posted. He talks about dairy products. He talks about oh my goodness, he talks about eggs, he talks about dairy, he talks about cancer, he talks about eyesight, he talks about all kinds of stuff, and so, you know, it might be worth your while to check it out. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you all in the next video.